Hey y'all, welcome back to Chat with Coach Amy. Today it is me, myself, and Darlene. We are recording this a little early because guess what? You want to tell them what
What?
I'm getting done? What am I getting done? I'm
There's
getting my
lots of
nose
questions.
done.
There you go. Set that fire going.
The cutest
That's
little
so funny.
nose.
Yeah.
It just needs a little work on the inside. I'm having
Right.
sinus surgery, y'all. Oh my gosh. I've been a little nervous about this here sinus surgery. And when this airs, I will be almost a week out. So hopefully all will be well. Praying to that. So y'all can continue
Yes.
praying for my recovery if this is news to you. But yes, I have major inflammation and mucosal membrane buildup, and my septum needs to be broke and fixed.
Oh, who knew you would have such the verbiage? Who would know all the things that are inside of our nose?
The turbinates are also very inflamed. It's so terrible. So
It is.
terrible. He was like, girl, your sinuses need surgeries.
Yeah.
What happened?
I have no idea. I'm like, oh no.
Well, I did switch my internet. So I don't know if it was mine. So anyway, there we go. Yep, it's my Wi-Fi. Well, it's okay. I have backup. I have a juice box. Boom.
Boom.
Juice
Well,
box,
we'll
baby.
just we're gonna mash that together. It's gonna be just fine.
Thank God you'll have a little time off because Coach Amy will be convalescing. I give you something to do. I am certain that you will not be bored while I'm out. Oh man. All right, cool. Sinus surgery, that's what I'm having done. It's all fine. Hopefully I'll breathe better. It's gonna be great.
I think it's gonna be great. That's what I'm definitely standing for because you've been doing this for too long.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be
Too long.
over. Over. Okay.
Yep.
What we got today, man?
All right. Back to the questions. Questions. Okay. So this one was interesting because okay, so I don't remember 7 years ago what was the current rage as far as eating diets, things that were,
Keto, I think.
popular.
Was it keto?
Was it keto? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But I know
I
there's
was
so many
up to my
programs out there.
eyeballs in little kids, so I really have no idea.
Right. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm like, huh, okay. Um, but there always is, right? There's always things that are trending as far as what you should eat and shouldn't eat, kind of a thing. So when you started with CrossFit,
Yeah.
and then JJ is the one who introduced you to it. But had you thought of what the eating side? Like you knew you wanted to change, and so you did the CrossFit, but then did you think of anything else as far as food goes? Were you thinking anything about
Well,
that before
I'm
it came
I'm
to you?
flashing back to a specific conversation with the guy that was the head coach at the time at CrossFit. And my body wasn't changing very much going to CrossFit. I don't think I lost weight because I was building muscle. Okay, not necessarily with all the protein things that we do now, or know about now. But I was like, I'm doing really good, and da 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 da. And he said, he said, "Well, you are. And I'm like, what's that mean, bruh? Like I wasn't as confident as and sassy as I am now, like on the outside. Um, it's come out. But I was like, what you mean? And he said, well, I don't think you're gonna see the change that you want until you change your food. And I was like, he said, then you're not ready. So he told me. And I'm like, it made me mad. It offended me. I was Darlene almost had an accident with her coffee. I was like, who are you to, in my head, I didn't say a word, but in my head,
Yeah,
I'm
here
like,
I am in CrossFit. Here I am doing it. Right. Uh-huh.
what
Yeah.
are you coming here 3 days a week and sweating my behind off? And, you know, but he was right. Health and weight
So
loss
did you
is,
start thinking of
yeah, yeah. Health and weight loss is 80% food, 20% exercise, if not a more drastic ratio than that. Is exercise and weightlifting and building lean muscle and all important? Yes, 100%. But if you aren't cleaning up your food, I mean, not to throw people under the bus, but sorry, you guys. If you are really wanting to be super healthy and you're going to the gym and still not happy with the way you look and that kind of, and there's a lot of factors. Yes, 100%. But if you haven't cleaned up your food, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like, let's go, do it. That was my key right there. Have I struggled since
So
then
you had
with
already,
different things? Yeah, but what were you gonna
so it
say?
was already kind of, so he had kind of implanted that
Mm-hmm.
when you went, and then did you start looking for anything else, or is it just the
I don't
timing worked out perfect when JJ, yeah.
yeah, I don't think I was. I don't remember specifically, but I do know that when she brought that to my attention, I had already done and was familiar with hiding veggies and things. I had done Jerry Seinfeld's wife had a cookbook or two out, and I had kind of fiddled with that a little bit. Um, I had actually done some things where I only ate vegetables. Very interesting with all the current things going on in Term Healthy Land a little bit. They had a podcast recently talking about raw vegan. And I had done that. It wasn't like I did it a lot, but I probably had a bunch of FPs. This was years before. But I knew kind of about it, I guess you'd say, but I don't think I was doing anything at that time. Mm-mm. I think I had
Seems like
that
there's so many,
mindset. Yeah, I think I had that mindset of I'm working out, I can eat whatever I want. Yep.
yep, I have extra calories, I can burn them
Yeah.
when I do this, or yeah.
And
It
now
just seems like there's so
CrossFit
many
days,
things
I
out there.
don't
Oh,
have
go
a
ahead,
fuel
sorry.
pull. Yeah. I said, and now
Yeah,
on CrossFit days, I don't have that fuel pull afternoon snack. I have an S or an E. Like that's how I compensate the calories. So
yeah.
that's just what I do.
It's just there's so many things out there. Sometimes I wonder, the clickbaits and the pictures and the infomercials and the things, and it's like, oh, this that instant, right? We all want instant. We want it right now. We want all the things. So that was one of the questions with that. They were just curious if there was something else that if you had been looking at anything else. Um, but you just
Yeah.
knew you had to change it from what he was saying.
Yeah. And THM, while it overwhelmed me, well, I wasn't overwhelmed with the cookbooks and the information about the plan that was in the cookbooks. What overwhelmed me was when I went to the website and saw all these products. That spending money on that overwhelmed the heck out of me. And so, like in Buds, I really try, and Blooms too, of course, but one on one, whatever, in coaching, I try to be very specific and let people know that you can do this without ordering. I mean, yes, it's very convenient. And yes, THM's products are wonderful, but you don't have to. And I didn't for the first 3 to 6 months. I did not use any of those things. I didn't use powders. I might have used some of the sweeteners because somebody gave me a little bit, but I wasn't out there making all these cakes and cookies and stuff that people do. I didn't do that. I made I did the Greek yogurts type thing. I did do shakes. I did do some of the shakes. I think I was really big on shakes. Les was asking me about that. He said, "You don't do shakes much anymore." He said, "That's what you did a lot of when you first started." And I'm like, "Well, it's what made sense to me." You know, I do remember when I was in college, I did Slim Fast. I had Slim Fast for breakfast, for lunch, and a sensible dinner. Like you remember that commercial.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. First of all, we didn't have a lot of money. And so if I could do Slim Fast for breakfast and lunch, that was really cheap. But I remember being so hungry all the time and I didn't need to lose weight. I was very small. Um, but it's just what I did. I don't know how long I did it though. That was a very long time. It was 23 years ago. But, you know,
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, yeah, it's funny. It's just there's just so makes sense. I think a lot of people, I know, okay, I'm gonna speak from my own personal experience. Having started Trim Healthy and learned about it before like the cookbooks, before they had products and stuff. I mean, they had a few suggestions in the main book on where to
mhm.
find some things, but really there wasn't. And I think that was actually, it's funny that you brought that up because I think that was something that really kind of helped me too, because it wasn't like you had to. You didn't have to have this certain
And you
thing or
still
meals or
don't. I think
right.
this I think this main THM group, while it is amazing, there's a lot of left outs. There's a lot of peer pressure to do all the things, but you do not have to. It's okay.
Right.
The protein powders are extremely convenient. Yes, but you don't have to. It's okay. Like I have a
Right.
client right now that while she's not being like snubbing her nose, she wants to do it from Walmart. You like,
Yeah.
and I commend that. And probably one day she'll be like me and have a standing THM order or whatever, but I love being able to support Trim Healthy. And my budget allows, and so I do. And also the recipes, most of the time, the cakes and baked items, they come out a lot better when you use the THM sweeteners and different things like that. And, you know, I do a lot of FP. I like FP in the afternoon. I like having FP to go with an S or an E, maybe typically like a sweet type thing, and it's easier to do that with oat fiber that you can get from THM. Pressed peanut flour. It's just, even gelatin, being able to get those products and know where they're sourced and being able to support the sisters and everything is important to me. But it is not required and it's not necessary, and you don't have to. You
Yeah.
don't have to do, truly, you don't have to do anything, you know. But I do know that a lot of people, they quit because they get overwhelmed with all the things that everybody's doing. But it's just like anything in your life. You don't have to follow the crowd. If it's not in your budget, that's okay. You can buy eggs, meat, vegetables, produce, whatever at Walmart to be on plan.
Yeah.
Now, you might not can have an on plan cookie without having some effort, but you can still be on plan. It just depends on what you're willing to do. But do not ever fall in the trap that you have to do XYZ just because two people posted it about it and it keeps popping up in your news feed. You know,
Yeah.
Somebody just posted, I'm not trying to dog on the main THM group because it's amazing, but I am seeing a lot of things just I don't scroll Facebook. So when I open it, I just see the first three or four, things that are on my news feed. And I've seen several, they're upset because the main THM group has a lot about GLP-1 and a lot about protein. And for some people, that's frustrating. But I'm posting almost every day in there, and there's like a couple of likes and maybe one comment. So like there's stuff in there. It's just the algorithm and what the 200 and something thousand people they're reacting to the GLP-1 and the protein. It's an algorithm. So if y'all want to change that, let's start paying attention to everything else. I mean, I'm even posting stuff on my social media that, I made this crock pot recipe and added this. It's so easy. Crickets. But I post a picture of me and Wes holding Starbucks coffee. Woo! Starbucks coffee. You know, I mean, to me as a mom that's trying to be on plan, a crock pot recipe that Coach Amy likes, I would think that would be more appealing than coffee with my husband. Maybe they just liked my muscles in the picture. I don't know, but
And I
it's
think
just interesting. It's just interesting.
and I
Social
think
media.
that's true to encourage that. I would highly encourage that too. Like if you see something that you do like, do something like you said, react somehow
Great.
to it because it keeps it going too. Like it keeps it on there, and then hopefully you'll see more of what you like. I mean, because those
Man.
things are.
Yeah, and even like sharing my clients' testimonies, like I pounded some bud stuff out Saturday and it was like 15 likes. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's cheer on these people. It doesn't cost you a thing to puffy heart or like stuff. That's not what you were talking about. But anyway, yeah,
But it's still the same thing because then you'll see more of that kind of stuff. Like
you will.
that's the idea is,
That's right.
for your own personal feed and stuff like
That's
that.
how the algorithm works on the social media, if y'all didn't know.
Yeah. But
You want to
fun
see more of
fact.
what you want to see. You need to react to what you want to see when you see it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Those little Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Oh gosh.
Mm.
We digressed. What else?
Yeah.
We got like 10 minutes now.
I know. Okay. So do you think, okay, and then a quick note on when you kind of for a couple weeks, you were overwhelmed after you had started, and then you
Yes.
had those couple weeks where you were like, and Wes brought it to your attention too, and you were like, did was that the like moment where you were like, yep, that you're right, this is it? Was that kind of like, because people wonder when you're gonna have, when do you get that aha moment or that, yep, this is it. Can't go back. I can't, this is good for me. 'Cause do you think that's when you had that moment or
So
do you
I
think it
don't
was
really
before?
remember exactly when that kitchen fatigue set in. I'm not sure, but I do know it did. And I do know that I regressed back to making suppers that were what I had used to make, but previously. And then I was just eating cereal for breakfast or having my normal lunch with regular bread. I mean, I had wheat bread, but still, yeah, I went back to all that normal stuff. And then I was back on the couch. On the couch. And then Wes comes in and he's like, "Girl, what you doing?" And then I realized I have to do THM. And that's where I didn't coin this then, but that's when it became THM is non-negotiable. This is what I'm going to do forever. And it literally says trim healthy mama lifestyle. And I don't think I had ever realized that before, but when I did, it just click, 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 click. Yes. And I'm going this weekend. I'm going on a girls' trip, and I did tell the girl kind of in charge of it. She's in charge of it. The girl in charge of it. I told her I was like, I'm going to bring my own food because I eat at different times. I definitely eat different than other people. She was like, she said there's no food police, and I appreciated that, but I wonder. I don't know exactly what she meant. I'm not trying to put words in her mouth, and she probably never know. But I wonder if she thought you don't have to eat on plan. Like, I wonder if she thought that. I might ask her. But she could also have been like, nobody cares, go for it. But if she did think you don't have to be on plan, yes, I do. And it's not because I'm scared somebody's going to see me have something off plan. I don't care. I'm a grown woman. If I want to eat some French fries, I will. Is it beneficial? No. Am I going to pay for it? Yeah. But, my intentions wherever I go, whatever I'm doing is to be on plan. Yours is too, because we both know that it is crucial to our health. And that's why my business is Southern and healthy, not Southern and skinny. Um, it just makes more sense. That is my goal. I'm going to be on plan. Um, if I go to the beach, my kids want ice cream every night, on vacation or whatever. Might I get a kitty cup? Maybe once, but I'm certainly not going to do it every time. Might I stop by this grocery store and get some Rebel ice cream and eat? Yep. Might I bring an iced coffee with me? Yep. Might I just drink water and shut up and enjoy that my kids are having ice cream? Yep. I'm not married to one thing. I will do one of those many options, and just know that it's not beneficial for me, and it's okay. You know.
Yeah, that's great. And because I think it is, it's when you get that to that point where it's, I don't know if it comes with age. Not sure exactly what it comes with, but it's that before or being in tune with what how your body feels. I know that was so great when you were talking about that in coaching in Blooms last weekend, was being just knowing, really listening,
Be an
really
expert on
seeing,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Whereas when we're younger, we're like, okay, well, and then the next day maybe you might feel better because you've gone through all whatever you ate. So it's you kind of
Yeah.
just brush it off more. I don't know, but now it's not worth it. It's especially when there's too much going on and you want to be in the moment of things. You can't be there if you don't feel good.
Yep.
So
Yes, for sure. Yeah. The whole being an expert, that's a couple things I would like to say. Being an expert on yourself is crucial. And I think so many women, we are such givers and we're such helpers and we're such servants. But if any of you have ever flown an airplane, what did they tell the adults? Put your oxygen mask on first so that you can care for the others around you, including your little children. And I think that is a great way to think about your health, because if I'm not taking care of me, I can't. I can't. Some of you might can. Y'all might live a wonderful life off plan, fine. I can't, and I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go off plan, because being on plan helps support my body so that I can do everything I need to do, help everybody I need to help. Um, and I think that's so important. But if you are continually not paying attention to what affects you, and maybe even ignoring it and thinking it'll pass, but you're like 2 years into this thing and you're fighting what you know will help, what in the world is it going to take to get your attention? What? You guys, come on, you know, straighten up. You're missing out on such an amazing gift.
And it's that thing that you said, time is going to pass.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and that fighting it, just that in itself. So you're doing it, but your time is spent so aggravated for some reason, not wanting to like do it, or I'm not sure, but it's like you're spending that time more aggravated when don't fight it. Yeah, that's really good.
If
That's
you
really
just
good.
do it, you gain time. We all say, I wish I had more hours in the day. Think about how much time you might spend either analysis paralysis or fighting what you know you need to do or procrastinating. Like just, in crushing, do the hard thing first. I can't stand tracking one-on-one's food. I hate it. But it is a crucial part of my coaching. It's crucial. And I do it first. I do it first. Wes came in this morning. He goes, "What you doing?" He went, "Oh, you're doing the hard thing first." I went, "Yep." I was sitting in our room. I had my binder and I was knocking it out. Tomorrow morning, I'll do the same thing. Saturday morning when I'm on my trip, I will do the same thing. And if I just knock it out, I'll do it. So many of you that are fighting, some people, they don't want to eat breakfast. Just do it. Fuel. Even if it's, a protein powder in a drink, that's fuel. Fine. Start there. Start there. You don't have to eat a breakfast that looks like mine. That's okay. I didn't always eat breakfast either. I certainly didn't always eat, cucumbers and carrots and stuff like that, sugar snap peas. There was so many foods I had never had before. And so I started with just small little changes, just like Atomic Habits teaches, small habits, and they are now what you guys know. So if you're new to me and you're seeing this nice shiny coach, it's not what I always look like. You need to go back a little bit and look at my before.
I can just when you're saying that, I can think of how much time on certain things, and not necessarily just THM, but like you said, in general, when you kind of get stuck, how much time actually
Just
you do. You
spinning your
spend
wheels.
thinking about it and you're spinning, and it's like, okay, and it takes so much space up in your brain, and it's like you don't, then you're not really
I
being
think,
useful
yeah, I
in
think
a
that's
lot
one
of
of the
ways.
reasons why I'm like, business wise, I have an idea. Let's do it. Like, I don't want to waste time worrying about it. Let's just try it out. So that makes
Yeah.
me happy. I was laughing to myself this morning thinking about your reaction when I told you we were going to move down here. And did you tell Jonathan or did you tell yourself? She's going to be
What?
there in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know. I said it out loud. I said it out loud to Jonathan. I was like, watch, just watch.
And I was.
He's like, and of course he's like, what are you talking about? But it was funny because I was like, and sure enough, I was like, yep, and it's done because
Yeah.
it's just, yep.
So, I'm doing in about an hour and a half, I'm teaching a class, a webinar on GLP-1 therapy and Trim Healthy and how you can do it naturally. It's not easy to do it naturally, but you can, and information and all that just to kind of help people because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. And I'm like, let's do a little class, you know,
Yeah.
uh, I'm not going to take it. I'm not. So it's not like I'm sitting here with firsthand experience, but I've helped plenty of clients to do it and I have some training in it, and that kind of thing. But I really want to do a support group for it, but I've got to sit on it because I'm having surgery Tuesday, and I
Yeah.
can't. That's really hard. It's really hard not to roll it out. I have lots of ideas. And I think it will happen, but at the same time, just business wise, do things like that drives me nuts because I just want to do it because I don't sit there and worry through it. I do ask for counsel, and I pray about it, but I don't spin my wheels and just lament over all the options and what if it doesn't work? I mean, the kids course, just example, I really thought I was going to have 50 to 60 families. What do we have? Is it 20 something families?
Yeah.
Was I disappointed? Yes. Is it okay? Yep. It's okay. And it's going great. And they're so darling. And I get to
Yeah.
grade all their stuff in just a little bit. And I'm so excited. But it's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes things don't work out the way you think they are, but it's a good experience.
for sure.
and had to be
It's
perfect.
great. It's a great tool for moving forward because then you know you can. But no, that's I think it's huge what you do when you do that because sometimes I'm like I just need to do that. That's what I need to do. Part
Let's
of
do
that,
it.
like you hear Amy in your head. I'm like I just make a decision. Darlene, just make a decision.
Somebody
Just do it.
said, kind of similar. They were like, you know, those "What would Jesus do" bracelets? You need a "What would Amy do?" I was like, that sounds sacrilegious, but okay. If that helps you
That's
guys
so funny.
to ask yourself, what would Coach Amy do? You go right ahead.
Right? Especially in those situations because it does. Oh my goodness, that's really good. I really liked that. Um, we still have time. Do we have time? I don't know. I don't know. We had our,
We have a few
what do you think?
minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
you just have to
So
do
I'll
that
give,
right
so what would you say is your favorite health victory?
now. Oh, that I'm strong, that I can deadlift 230 pounds. Oh, that's my
Yeah.
favorite. Yes. I can still do a cartwheel. I can beat camp when we run. I can pick up my daddy.
Oh,
I, yeah, yeah. I
life.
mean,
You're
there
totally
are a
in
lot of
life.
what?
You're in your life. You're
Mhm.
participating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, shoot, there's so many days that I wasted I couldn't get off the couch. I'm telling you guys, I could not do anything. And so just knowing that I can do all that is great. And there are definitely days like this week on Monday, I chose sleep over going to CrossFit. There are some people that would see that as failure. That is a win because I'm an expert on myself. And so I knew I needed the sleep. I knew I needed the sleep. And I did it and it was fine. There are still some days like in the afternoon where I'm a little sleepier. That's usually coming towards the end of my pellets. But I just pay attention to that, you know. And I love also that I can advocate for myself well. And I've talked about this before in different places, but whether that is in my business, where I will not be railroaded by someone that's being not nice, or allow that to affect my mood. It's okay. That's their opinion. Okay, fine. Okay. I have opinions too, but Thumper, I was telling Wes this morning, I said, Thumper's mama's advice is one of the best. If you don't have something nice to say, just don't say it at all. That's not exactly right, but you know, like for real, keep your mouth shut. Anyway, um, the next thing I would say is advocating in my home. And I think that's where some mamas, it's very fuzzy. Um, Over the weekend, we were away with friends, and I noticed that I fix my food first, then I'm normally not with my family all the time at meal times. So being with them more and being like where we were all fixing plates, I always fixed mine first, ate it, then started working on the rest of the stuff. I mean, like even if Wes had already started on his and the kids, I would just come alongside him when I finished, and it was not a big deal at all. There are some dudes that wouldn't like that. I'm sorry if you're married to Mr. Grumpy Pants, but it's that oxygen mask for me. But it was time for me to eat before it was time for them to eat, so I ate. You know, like not a big deal. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
good.
yeah, and then advocating for yourself in your doctor's office or with another opinion. I think that is huge. And I've had to fight. I mean, even with the sinus surgery, I've gone through a lot of different places to finally get to someone that um I felt very comfortable with and, you know, made a decision with them.
You and I talked a little bit about this, the idea that it doesn't have to be advocating for yourself doesn't mean you have to be rude
Oh
or
yeah.
short or anything like that. Like I think sometimes people may think that because maybe they're more shy or reserved, they don't want to say something, they feel a little bit intimidated by medical professionals or whatnot. You don't have to you don't have to rebuke anything. That's you ask your questions and then if it's not then you don't have to keep seeing that doctor. It doesn't have to be some loud
Well, and even
statement
if
you make
they
when you
prescribe you, yeah, even if they prescribe you a medication, you don't have to go get it filled. And if you do, you don't have to take it. Like if there's something not sitting well, you know, then keep asking for help, you know. Dude, Facebook is wonderful for weeding out stuff. Like, hey, does anybody have any recommendations for this in our area? Or whatever, you know. Yeah, keep asking. Because people will
yeah
give you their opinion.
Right?
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm.
Well, I think that's good because the next couple that I was going to go to will change the direction and they'll probably be longer.
Okay,
So
we'll get back in May. I'll be all
I think,
healed up. I'll be breathing out of my nose.
yes.
I'll have a tan. It's going to be awesome in May. Oh man, Lily's graduating.
Oh,
My second
that's
graduate, you guys.
wild. That is wild.
Wild. Wild and
Yep.
crazy. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Darlene. I hope that was helpful,
Yeah.
everybody.
It was good talking to you.
Thanks. Bye,
Yeah.
y'all.
Bye-bye.
Hold on. I don't know where the pet. There it is. Bye.